This guy's got enough for all of us to last 10 years. So you run into the mental illness part of that, you kind of question, again, why does he have this much stuff? And sometimes we have a hard time getting our mind around that. And you thought your kitchen looked bad? That's kind of hard to see, but that's all garbage bags. And over on this wall over here was probably 500 to 1,000 syringes. He was a diabetic. And then, stuff stops working in a hoarder's home, typically. And so then they don't use those types of appliances anymore, like this guy's sink didn't work, his refrigerator didn't work, but he left the stuff in it. So that was a lot of fun. And then the stove. So there's a lot of situations where they get into a point where now they're overwhelmed with the stuff that's in it and they can't have anybody come fix it because they're embarrassed and they have issues about that, security and stuff. So the Institute for Challenging Disorganization puts out a clutter hoarding scale. And we have some of these over here if you guys want them. But basically, what this does is allow you to look at a situation and then determine how much protection you and or your staff would need, or anybody would need to take care of that situation. So as an example, a level 1 personal protective devices are optional, right? A level 5, which is some of the pictures I've shown you, include needing a respirator, mask, safety goggles, latex gloves, disposable coveralls, caps, booties, first aid, hand sanitizer, insect repellent, headlamp, flashlight, all that fun stuff. So this is basically a reference guide for you to have, and it kind of tells you a little bit about what's happening with the house. So like a level 1 is no excessive clutter, all rooms are properly used, there's just some stuff. And then a level 5 is key living spaces not usable, all rooms not used for intended purposes, entrances, hallways, and stairs blocked, toilets, sinks, and tubs not functioning. So it's a big deal to be in 5. So somewhere in between. So it's always nice to have this with you so that you can go, I'm not going anywhere near that, or neither is my staff. So it's a safety item for you guys to check that out. Hoarding typically has a lot of different things sort of mixed into the pot. Hoarding is actually a, I'm gonna get all the way to the end here. Whoop. Hoarding is, in the DSM-5 now, an actual listing as a mental illness. So a lot of the medical and the psychiatric community is obviously recognizing that hoarding isn't just, I like to keep stuff and don't give it away. Hoarding is a mental illness. So there's a lot of comorbidities to go with that. Dementia, Alzheimer's, depression, schizophrenia, all of those things in sort of a mixed bag. You can imagine running into that all at one time. It's very interesting. And then sometimes there's triggering events. It's still, the mental illness, but sometimes things happen to bring all that out. We worked with somebody in the past who had lost a child as a young lady. She was 90 years old, and in her house was still the baby's room under all of the stuff that she had stacked on top of it. So when you're cleaning it out, it's still the room that she had set up for the baby many years ago. So those kind of events triggered, some of her issues. Divorce, financial difficulties, all that kind of great stuff. And then they're also saying that it's genetic. They're seeing that it's sort of going into different. So I was looking at that going, okay, I gotta figure out all of my relatives and what were they doing. So it's definitely something to think about.